All right. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, you all had a good weekend. The first question that Jerry's asked, he was wanting me to go over the places, how to add it to his website. And we had discussed, I'm going to share my screen, Jerry.
Okay.
So there's a two-step process. We're going to go into the settings area, and we're just going to put in the filter box places, and it's going to take us to all the tabs where it's in there. So there's a couple of places you want to look like. Customize the ordering experience. This is so that you can add it in the user profile. Also allow ASAP for places. You probably want to check that. And you may want to go ahead and save the address to the customer account if they select places. Then, if you want to have places, you have to check the box in DL core settings. And then in management decisions, that's just your call outs. So you need to turn those on. DL core setting places. And this will put it in the sidebar menu, or the hamburger menu is what I like to call it. Let's see if I can pull one up. So what I call the hamburger menu. Let's get the page loaded. Is these three lines over here on the right. So you can put places as a choice over here. And then if you want it to show up on your main top part, you would submit a ticket for design and ask them to add a places up here in this line in the header. Does that help you?
Yes, sir. Can you put it on the bottom header too, or is it good on the bottom header?
I mean, you can ask them to put it wherever you want, really. But that's where most people do, is they'll add places right here.
Okay.
But that's the only one you need a design ticket for. The other, you can control by clicking these buttons
Right.
over here.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Dave.
You bet. All right. We do have another question that popped up. And Rodney, I apologize, but GFO fees are not my forte. There is a call with Juliet and Matt Hanley, or actually, do they do that on Tuesday? Hang on,
I was speaking with Juliet. We were emailing each other.
Oh, well, yeah.
And she's trying to explain it, but I'm lost.
I got news for you. If she's confusing you, if I were to speak on the subject, dude,
well, it's kind of weird, and I know it's not your forte, and I got to get off the phone real quick too. I wish I could stay on this meeting, but I can't. Okay. But what it's doing is I've got in my taxes and fees, I've got 10% sales tax here, but I've also got 15% hidden in the taxes and fees line.
Right.
Well, anytime there's a GFO order, it takes away my 15%.
Yeah, and that's because of the Google integration. But Juliet has a way of getting that added back in. And if you tell her exactly like you just told me, she knows the path forward.
Okay, I'll contact her. If I could just get her to call me. I'm not a big email guy. You know, I mean, I'm more of a talk like we are, a phone call or whatever.
I understand.
But okay, guys, I appreciate it. I've got to run. Thank you.
All right, you bet. See ya. All right. Rodney's gone. Amy has a question in here. Before I move on, does everybody understand what he was asking? If you have a question about it, just hit the raise hand in the bottom. But all I'm going to do is refer you to get in touch with Juliet. So let's go to Amy's. Can we go over zoning and zip codes? I have a customer who are being charged $500 for their delivery fees. Amy, we've actually found something similar to this before, and believe it or not, it could be in your zoning setup. What's your URL again?
Mailman deliveries.
Mailman. Okay. Right, and let me get logged in. And what is the restaurant in question?
Susie Q's was Friday, but now I just had to close the entire website for today because it's been going crazy all day. So we've been closed all day
because of 500 delivery fees.
Because of the 500 delivery fee, and also because customers kept saying that the restaurants were up, then they weren't up, and then when they put their addresses in, I mean, these are people who have been ordering before, and then it's saying like no restaurants are available.
Well, we will definitely take a peek at that. And let me get in here. And Fulton. And let me pull this over here so everyone can see what I'm doing. So what I did is I went into your locations, and I am going to first, because I see that you have Fulton and Grove Hill as different locations.
Can I say something about that real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so first I had them all in different zones, and then Noah was trying to help me, so he had sent me a video, and they were saying how you can actually just, since I'm in a rural area, just put them all together. So we tried that, and that still didn't work. So
okay, which one is the one that you put it all into one?
I put Fulton and Grove Hill all with Thomasville.
Okay, so I'm going to look in here first, and I'm going to look at the delivery fees, and I'm going to look at your defaults, and I'm going to look across at the pickup fees, and nothing unusual there. And I'm going to look at your per mile fees. And I tell you what I'm going to do first. I'm going to look at your restaurants, and what was the restaurant that you had said?
Susie Q's.
Susie Q's. We'll come down here at Susie Q's, and I'm going to go into manage fees. So right now, you have the zone of Fulton in here.
Yeah, that was the last attempt, and I just quit and just closed everything down today.
So, but if everything is set up in Thomasville now, then what we need to do is go into these restaurants. And since it's in the Thomasville location, we need to remove this zone.
Okay.
And now we need, interesting. So the Thomasville, hang on, let me go back over here and look at your zoning. And all zips, and then Fulton. So all zips is the one that you combined here?
Yes, and I had Fulton in all zips, and then it still wasn't working. So I took it out and tried it this way, and it's still not working. But I hadn't touched anything until, it stopped working, and then I tried to fix it. And
yeah, we're all good. I'm gonna make some adjustments for you. And Now we've got all zips left in here. And these are all of your zip codes, right?
Right. I think I took out Fulton and tried
Yeah.
to, yeah.
What's that zip code?
Ooh, I think it's 36446. I don't.
I think you're right. Can you double check that for me real quick?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, it's 36446.
Great. Okay. So now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put in all zips and I'm going to add it. And I'm going to save it. And I just want to verify. Yep, that's in there. Good. Now, if you can check on your front, and let's do that. And we're going to go to restaurants.
I think I have to open it back up because it's closed.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It'll still show up over here. It just
Okay.
says pre-orders. And what restaurant was that? Susie Q's.
Susie Q's.
We've added that in all zips. And right, so Susie Q's is still not showing up over here. So let's look at one other thing. All zips. Make sure I saved it. And let's look at info.
Hey, Dave, it's SUS instead of, I think you searched SUZ.
Oh,
Yeah. Stay where you're at, though, because on that restaurant, you have it in the info. You have it as Fulton still instead of all zips.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's not it. But there's Susie Q's. It's showing up now.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
can you try to like place an order from it? Or like see if it'll do, because that's what we were doing. Like it would show, and then when you try to place it, it would say like the addresses wasn't, like there's no restaurants available.
Yeah, because you had the wrong zone applied, but sure. I'm using the I'm going to use the restaurant's address, and I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click on this. Now it's asking for the street address. I'm going to select that. And interesting, it's not pre-populating.
And it was saying that for all of the restaurants. So
Right.
I don't know why it's doing that.
All right. So there's Main Street, and we'll save. And because you're closed down today, I'll have to pick tomorrow, but I am able to select a time for delivery now for Susie Q's. And boy, I picked a good one, didn't I?
I just click on anything and just.
All right, so we'll add that item. Yeah, it's letting me build the cart.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Delivery fee
$1,000.
$1,182.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So,
So-
real quick, David, are you, Amy, are you doing by the mile or by the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I'm by the mile.
Yeah.
Mileage base.
That's what I'm doing too. And David, in the oh my God, what did Matt do? He did in the settings itself. It was, let me check my settings real quick.
Probably strict geo mode.
Yeah, I can't remember what the heck he did, but in the well, no, where the heck did he do that? He had to do something where it was like 1 point something or 2, whatever it was, and then because I do X amount per mile for what do you call it? You know, my base, and then I do after 3 miles, it does it $1.25 a mile.
Yeah, that's in the delivery fees in the zone based. This over here, the tier 1, tier 2.
Yeah.
Yours is different. You have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 set up. If you look in your
Gotcha.
zone.
All right.
Yeah, that's what that is. But why would it be giving us such a huge delivery fee?
I was gonna say I can come and deliver for you. I mean, if you get that, listen, I'll come down there today.
Yeah, if I could get a piece of that $1,100 for the
Exactly.
delivery fee. All right, so
It was working fine. It just started messing up Friday, and no one changed anything. We didn't change anything at all. So until I started trying to fix the restaurant.
Gotcha. So I'm looking for a misplaced 0.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Or a misplaced decimal point, but I'm definitely not seeing it anywhere there. Not seeing it anywhere there. It's definitely not coming up as there. It's got a 10 for the I gotta tell you, I am stumped.
Me too.
I don't want to. I would like to investigate this further, but I don't want to. It's going to be definitely something I need to dig in further. I am going to try doing one thing because we're going to get rid of that address too. We don't need an address too there. Mailing address doesn't matter. And let's hit enter. And let me go back up here and do a hard refresh. And it came out. And let me do a sandwiches.
It's saying that the restaurant is 1,200 miles away from you and the address you picked.
Really? So it's not recognizing my delivery address?
Now look right there at the left under Suzy Q's.
Uh-huh.
It's saying that it's 1,200 miles away from the address you entered.
Oh, you are correct. So let me.
And we had a customer order from there before.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why I would have.
let's try changing the address. Fulton, Alabama, 36446. And save. You're right. It's still saying that it's that far away, and it's actually the same address. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to submit a ticket. And have you downloaded or added Awesome Screenshot to your browser yet?
No, I just snip it.
Okay, well, snipping it would be fine. But if you could snip it and circle the delivery fee and circle how many miles, highlight the mileage and where it's located, and then show the delivery address, that'll give our Q&A guys a spot to start working on. And also.
So I may have to close down period, because I had a person that just tried to order from Jenny's Pizzeria, and it gave her a $500 delivery fee.
No, I mean, we're going to dig into this pretty quickly. We're not going to sit on this one because we need to see what's going on. So if you can get that submitted,
okay,
we'll get somebody looking at that pretty quick.
Okay, I'll work on that right now.
All right. I hate getting stumped.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for sure. Gosh darn it. Yeah, just
And
get
the
that
address, and the address is correct on the restaurant profile too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the zip code, all that stuff and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
That's really weird.
That's I'm on the location, but yeah, the restaurant right here, we've got a 10, and we've got the right address. That one just is a weird one for sure. And even in the managed fees, there's definitely nothing there. And the mileage-based fees were all good. So it's charging $1 per mile. It's just for whatever reason not connecting the two. So
I just put the awesome screenshot URL in there because that works great for me.
dude, I mean, like I said, it's something that we use internal. And when it starts saying you've reached your limit, just ignore it. Just close it, and you can still do everything. That's what I do. All
That's
right.
great.
So Melissa has asked about the best way to cancel an order after it is batched. I moved it back to place and then canceled it. That is the perfect way to do it. I would rebatch the order and it will issue a refund to the customer. I know it's crazy how easy editing and refunding customers and adding charges. I mean, that's the one thing about our system. It is so easy to do. You just go in and edit the order and then go back to the credit batch and rebatch the order, and you're good to go. You can only go back 30 days though, and very seldom is, if anybody's calling you with a problem after a month of being delivered, I'm sure you guys would be like me and say, dude, you're out of luck. So,
real quick, Dave. So to rebatch it, I would just go into where the reports and the financial and batch, and then just look for that order number and just
go look at the order and get the date of the original order.
Okay.
And run a credit batch for that day.
Okay.
And you'll see it at the top. You'll just click it and then batch the order.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. John, you said you can't hear. Are you still not able to hear? He may have left us. I'm not sure. Jaha asked the question, am I making a profit if I use Postmate drivers? So that's a crazy question. It's not a clear-cut answer. I will say that Postmates, based on their order volume, if they're slow, you can get a delivery done cheaper than when you can get a delivery done when they're busy. This feature of being able to use a Postmates driver is only to bail you out of a pickle and to keep the customer on your website and not letting them go to another platform's website to place an order. Sometimes you will make a profit by using a Postmates driver. You may lose $3 or $4 by using a Postmates driver. But what you do is you retain the customer on your platform and you make them happy by completing the delivery, and that'll keep them coming back. So it's not profitable to run your business, but to keep good customer service, to keep timely deliveries, even if that order loses $3 or $4 because of what you got to pay the Postmates driver, you make up for it by retaining that customer. So I hope that made sense to you. I think everybody would agree on this call about that Postmates statement. So, Food Fetch Duplicate the zone. So you have two. Okay, this was going back. I think we'll figure that out.
So that's just
Yeah.
that's how do I go in and I was talking to Devin. He told me to ask you on the call. I want, because Oswego, we're doing 2 weeks of a trial period. So what I want to do is within the city limits, draw a map, a polygon map, whatever, and then put 0 in there for delivery fee, and then draw another map as close as possible so it's not overlapping. And then that area would just be regular delivery fee, the regular zone. And he said that once we get done with that 2 weeks, then I just delete the inner zone and then everything will go back to normal. Where do I go for that?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but you and I had a call about this at one point.
Did we?
Yes.
I can't remember. I don't even remember how old I am.
But that's okay. You'll remember once I show you. We're going to go into locations. We're going to go into zoning. And we're going to go into the map. And this is where I was talking about drawing the map around the city proper. And then you have to draw another zone outside of the first polygon that we drive. So
but it can't overlap though, right?
That is correct. So and we'll say this is the city that we want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I may not be able to do it since I'm on this one. But get the hand. Yeah, there it is. So we would just start here, and you would have to, zoom in, but you would draw around the outside, and I'm just going to take shortcuts. But you would zoom in and do it real tight.
Yeah.
And then once you go around,
can I build this without affecting the location currently, or is it best to wait? What's the best way to do it?
This is really going to be your best way to do it.
But can I, if I do it while the market is still open right now, because we still get orders, what is the best? Is this going to activate this right away, or only when I say to activate it?
Well, it'll only, because what you'll have to do is go back into the restaurant profile and add, and then add this, whatever the name of this outside is, into the restaurant profile.
Okay. So once I get that all done, can I connect with you at some point before next Monday? Okay.
Yep. And I'll review it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
But did you see what I did? I just drew around the outside and then connected it. So
I think the other part of this that would help out, and I've been talking to Anthony about it, and I think if everybody gets on puts in the same ticket, I personally believe that coming from another software, we need to get away from zip codes. It should be distance from the restaurant to wherever. And because the zip code with the zones and stuff, it just makes it very complicated for what we want to do. So I think if everybody puts in a ticket for that and asks the same thing, it's going to get done a lot quicker than me always hounding them to remove the zip code.
And I think, you bring this up a lot, and that we don't disagree with you. I mean, we actually do agree with you. Yeah. It's just that is going to be a really big project. And I'm not saying that we're opposed to big projects, but it's something that we're going to have to plan for and make sure goes really smoothly, because it will affect everybody. It's just a really big project. But you're right. The more people that ask for it, the more we start considering what kind of resources we're going to throw at it. So,
because I can tell you from my side, it's your restaurants are going to get more orders. You're going to get more orders in general because of the zip code, especially if
Yep.
You know, depending on your scenario, whatever. But
Yep.
okay, I'll let you know when I'm ready, and then when I have that bill, I'll connect with you. I just needed to be ready to go by Monday.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
You bet. Dropping to Amy again. Amy was saying that I don't know what is going on because my website wouldn't let anyone order today. Restaurants would be there, then disappear. So Amy, yeah, you're going to have to, you'll get that ticket submitted, and we'll get people digging into that to see what we can figure out. Jerry, you don't have the hamburger menu.
I found it. My bad. That's why I hung on.
Yeah,
I found it.
right on, buddy. Yeah, you probably didn't see it until you hit the restaurants page.
You got it.
Right on. All right. Hey, Ms. Ashley. It says, I know we can look a customer up by the phone number, email, and name, but is there a way to look them up by address or just look up an address altogether? That's a very good question. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to our dispatch screen because I think that in the search box, you can look up an order by the address, but I'm not going to swear to that. I may be wrong here. Let me put one in here that I know. And no, that doesn't seem to be the way. Honestly, I don't know of a way to look up an order by an address. That's a very good question. I'm going to say I don't think so. Unfortunately. If I do find out, I'll find out and have an answer for you by next week. And actually, I'm going to ask right now, and maybe by the end of this call, someone will answer me and let me know. Actually, I know who would know. That would be my dispatch guys. Let me go to my dispatch channel. I haven't been in there in a while. I'm sure they miss me. Can you search by address in the system? All right. We'll see who responds to that by the end of the call. All right. Jerry did put a link to awesome screenshot for you guys if you want to click on that and add it. It's very, very helpful. Melissa did ask about the order we were just talking about. When I go to rebatch it, the order doesn't show up. It shows up in the canceled column the other day. Oh, you canceled it.
Yeah, I canceled the order. What happened was, I guess it was a national partnership, Boston Market, and when the guy got there to pick up the food, they said they never got the order. And they sent him to another store, which wasn't, even correct because it came through the POS, to
Right.
that store. So I didn't find out till the next morning. And so I
Got it.
talked to the manager. They said, go ahead and cancel it. We're not sure what happened. So I went in, marked it back to placed, and then it was a pickup, it was a takeout. And then I just canceled it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that was the correct way to do it. And then make sure that, obviously it did get voided out and,
Yeah.
refunded.
So since it got voided out, you have to edit the order.
Okay.
You have to remove the payment and then add the payment back and then batch it again.
Okay. So, and it's not going to charge them, right? because he never got the food. So I just wanted to just cancel the order. But it was just the next day that I had to cancel it because we didn't find out till the next day that he didn't get it.
Okay, so I'm a little confused.
Okay.
So you're canceled it because he didn't get the
food. It was
the
a
food.
it was
Right.
a takeout order. He showed up at the restaurant right at closing, and the guy told him and we can't figure out what happened because it said it got sent through, the OLO system or the rails. And the guy that was working said he didn't receive it, sent the guy to another Boston market that, didn't have the order either.
Right.
And so when I found out the next day that this guy never got his food, I called Boston Market and the manager had no idea what happened. She said, I don't know if he got the food or not. I don't know. So just go ahead and cancel it, give him his money back.
Okay.
So I did. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it's pretty simple. You did the right thing. You went in and canceled the order.
Okay.
Because we're not going to charge the customer and we're not going to pay the restaurant.
Exactly.
So just going in and canceling it will take care of all of that.
Okay. So there's nothing else I need to do then.
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. Perfect. That's what I wanted to make sure. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Sorry for the confusion.
It's all right. All right. And Amanda is asking, what is the best way for dispatcher alert notices to use customer tags? So in case you're wondering, on the dispatch screen, and also it's something that you guys can set up on the back end. Let me move my screen down so you can see. We have customer tags. And some of the ones that we use is we know it's a GFO order. Sometimes we'll put, the service that it's coming through. We will also have, tags for, well, it's more the order tags that we use instead of the customer tags. I think that might be what you're asking. Hope you broke up a little bit.
Hey,
Amanda.
Dave, what? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So,
Okay. So what
oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up really bad. You're breaking up really bad, Amanda. The customer tags are tags that show up on the customer's user profile. So, and like you can see this one, we've got it tagged as a farm wrap. And I'm going to go to my favorite little button on the dispatch screen, and that's the quick info area. And I'm going to click on this customer, and it's going to take me into their profile. So the dispatchers don't use the customer tags other than getting information about the customer that's set up in the user section. And if I go to their account, I see that I've got customer tags here. And we have a bunch of different ones for Deliver Club, but you can tag them as a VIP, as a doctor, as a farm rep, as a large office. And we're just letting the dispatcher know that whoever orders from this email address, there's this information about them. They're a farm rep or they're a large office. Now, the dispatchers, when we have remote dispatchers, they will use order tags, pre-placed, US team placed. This is tags that the dispatchers are adding to the order to let the other dispatcher know what's going on. And when you right click on an order and you go to my favorite button here, quick info, this is where the order tags are. And so, if I'm remote and I'm trying to place this order. It's a call-in order. I may hit the busy no answer to let the other dispatcher know, hey, I tried placing this order, but it's busy. There's no answer. Or I can let them know, hey, I'm calling the customer. I can let them know that I contacted the customer. The order tags is just a way that you can go in to let other dispatchers that aren't in the same area to know what's going on with an order. Does that make sense?
It does. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. What I was trying to figure out is we have this one customer that has a pretty aggressive dog, and I was trying to flag it somehow so every time she orders, even if we're busy and we're only half paying attention to names, that we would see, you know, somewhere that she ordered and, you know, we know it's her.
So you can update your list of customer tags by going into settings. And I'm just going to type tag in up here. And let's look and see. Customer tags. I can add a customer tag to the list that's already there.
Okay.
And I can have more than one customer tag, and you just use the pipe to separate them, no spaces. And then you would go into the user account by right-clicking and going to my favorite button, Quick Info, clicking on the customer, and it takes a minute for this page to load for me, sorry. And then once you've created that customer tag, you can go into their user account and click on the account tab. Once it shows up, there we go, account tag, and it will be in this section that says customer tags. And you can have, you know, click on the button that says beware of dog, or something like that. And then it would just show up under the customer tags right here next to the customer name, you know, beware of the dog.
Okay, what about is there a place I can put it in her profile that would note for the driver that she wouldn't necessarily see every time she opens her account?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to go into the user profile again. And
we had a pretty honest conversation with her about her dog, but I still don't necessarily want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't want her to know that we've noted it in every way possible.
It's all right. So if you go into her account, all the way down here, there's a notes section. I will say I don't know if this goes to the driver.
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
No, but you can put that under the dispatcher internal notes on the order, and it sticks with that customer's account.
So, well, I just had this screen open. So if you go to down here and write in a customer communication,
no, that won't stay with the account. But if you go to edit order, the dispatcher internal section.
Yeah. So I'm going to click. I'm going to click on an order. I'm going to select E for edit, and internal dispatch notes. You can put it here, and it'll be assigned to this customer.
Oh, awesome. I'm not sure I've ever noticed that. And
It's new.
Okay.
It is new. The internal dispatch notes. I think it's maybe 2 weeks old.
Okay. And then where does that show up once I add it? Do we know?
Alex?
It shows up when you hit your quick view, your quick info. It'll show up in the note section there, and it'll show up when you go to send an order. If you have that setting check where it shows the dispatcher notes.
So in settings and dispatcher, there is now a button that will say show dispatcher notes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, here it is. Show
on send.
Show dispatcher notes on send. So when it sends, if auto dispatch it, it'll show a note. It'll pop up on the screen, Alex.
Right, it'll be in that same box that has you select the time for when the order will be ready.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Kind of like where the notes for the dispatcher show up about the restaurant.
Right, and if you hit quick
Okay.
info, it'll be on the right-hand side where the dispatcher notes on the left-hand side.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Cool. And
Okay.
since I went in to edit an order, I always like telling people this. When you go in to edit an order, there is only 2 ways to exit this order. Exit and save. If you close the tab, it will lock this order in editing mode, and it will not batch because the system thinks you're making a change to it that may affect the total. So if you ever edit an order, always hit exit or save. Now, sometimes, and I make this mistake even now to this day, if you close this, when you see on the dispatch screen that you have an order that's stuck in editing, all you have to do is open it in editing again, and then either click exit or save, and then it'll close and you'll be good to go, and the order will batch. So, all right. Jeff, you in this question. I get why I get why you want it. So in the alternate payment area, Jeff is asking us if someone has an alternate payment that we require them to have a credit card on file that can be charged if their alternate payment fails. I mean, I get why we would want that, but it's just something I think that will be hard to implement, because if they're going to put in their credit card there, they would probably just use their credit card to pay. So, I mean,
so I mean, for us though, right, it's the college card. So when they put the college card number in, if they don't have the funds on the card, then they can use mommy and daddy's card or whatever, right, for that, because they get X amount of money on these off-campus college cards. So in the past few weeks, they've been getting smart about it. They were taking the card off the file and using their college card, and then it doesn't go through. So then I have nothing to charge it to. So I'm just looking to see if we can require a card to be on file if you place an order.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to check into that. I don't think if I mean I think we have the support guys. I think we have a way to look at removed cards, but I thought that we had stopped the ability for someone to remove their credit card.
Yeah, because I mean, and the thing is I even talked to the company, and they're not willing to do any kind of integration. They're not willing to let go of their API. They're not ready to do anything. But here they are partnering with Grubhub. And I said, well, we can do the same thing with the software. And then, nope, sorry, we're not doing anything right now. I'm like, well, you're not really helping me out. and I can't take a prepayment because that's against their policies. And they told me that if I do that, they're going to cancel my whole contract. So I don't want to do that either. So, and I have probably close to $1,000 in the last 2 weeks that I have been out on because of the college kids. But now we are pursuing, it's a federal charge for the students to do that on college campus using those cards. So now we're pressing charges on 13 individuals because of that.
Yeah, and one thing that I will refer back to, I've helped a few people set up the alternate payment. One thing that I always caution about, and I understand time is pressing and people like to wait till the end of the day to process those payments. But if it were me, I would process the payment before I delivered the order, so that if something like that does pop up, I can cancel the order. But
So what do we do in the case? Can we delay? Is there a way to delay the orders being sent to the tablet and or POS integration? So when orders come in that has
an
a
alternate,
alternate payment, can we hold it for like 10 minutes?
that, you know what? That currently is not an option, but that would be a great feature to add.
I like the idea. That's what we did before, but it
Yeah,
was when we were accepting it and putting the stuff in a matter of minutes, the restaurant already has it, then I have to call the restaurant. And I was like, well, this isn't like really working out. But then I'm like, the amount of orders that we're getting in revenue,
yeah,
I'm like, well, I want to keep it, but I
right.
also need it to work in my favor. I can't be losing out on $700 to $1,000 a week,
Yeah,
you know. So, but I will put a request in for that
yeah,
particular feature.
yeah, because that might actually be something that's a fairly quick fix. But yeah, it
I'm
makes
going to put
perfect
it
sense.
in, and then I'll
Yeah,
bring it up to Matt on Thursday.
yeah, absolutely. Perfect. All right. We've got a question from Alex Cole that says a national partner order, POS send, did not work for an order. So we had the driver place it in person and then pay on pickup. What are the next steps? Number one, the customer needs to be charged. Number two, national partner does not need to be paid by DL. And then three, because driver used our card instead. Okay. So there was nothing that you would need to do to keep the customer from being charged. You would just go ahead and mark that order delivered, and then the order would batch, and you would get paid for the order.
But when the restaurant get double paid, once by us and once by y'all?
No, because if it did not hit their POS, they haven't paid. We haven't paid them. They won't get paid if it hasn't hit their POS.
How do you know it hasn't hit their POS if it says it's delivered?
Because the transmission, the same way you know that it didn't send, because you got the error. But that is an interesting question, because because it would just show up as extra money to them, because you're right, we probably would run a report. I would say that when that happens, and it wouldn't be you guys
cancel it.
Yeah. It wouldn't be you guys paying for that second order. That money would be coming out of us, out of DeliverLogic. So,
but we did pay for it.
I
don't used to pay on pickup.
Yeah, well, yeah, you would have paid for it once, but I don't think, because the POS send didn't go through. Because I think we look for failed sending orders. I could be wrong, but what my suggestion would be is to submit a ticket as soon as it happens, and just say, hey, order such and such, our driver paid, please don't deduct it from our account because it never went through. But I would submit a ticket as soon as it happened. Just put the order number, tell them, hey, our driver paid on pickup, place it in person.
Right. Yeah, because we should be sent the full amount that the customer paid, since it didn't go through the DL system.
Yep.
Instead of DL deducting all the stuff out and then send us the balance.
Correct. And I would say that if they start seeing a bunch of those type of tickets, it's something that they will address. Cool.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Amy is going to ask our last question of the day. Oh, I love questions like this. Do you know an estimated time we will have to wait for the delivery fee issue? I know tickets take a while to be looked at. I would like to communicate to my customers because I don't want to open up the website. Completely understand, Amy. No need for you to be sorry. I am going to, did you already submit that ticket?
Yes, sir, I did.
All right. I am going to find that ticket. And right as we get off the phone, I'm going to take it up with one of the devs, and we will see how we can expedite that along, because we, here's the thing, we don't make money when you're not doing orders. So
Thank you.
So we are very motivated to get you to the point where you're taking orders. Just a side note, one of the dispatchers did get back to me and said that there is not currently a way to look up an order by its address. Whoever had asked that earlier.
You can only look up by the address if they've been delivered to before.
Right.
And that's through the marketing suite. I mean, the
marketing
report
portal.
Not the report builder thing.
Yeah. Oh, the report builder. Gaia. Okay. So you could go to the report builder.
And that's only if you have, I think, the user field available to you.
Well, no, you can go in and you can go. I didn't want to go to editor. Go to the report generator and go to the order information, and we can look at the customer. Where is the delivered address? Maybe it's not going to be in the order information. Wonder what that is. We could, yeah, but we could definitely build it in the report generator to find out. I don't know if you guys can see the user information.
We can't now.
Yeah. Some of you can. If you're on the DC instance, you can't. But I would say the order information would be the one, because we could look up the address, customer name, address, and then you would filter by the address, probably address 1. You have an appointment. So
I think there's a tag for the order number, so you can filter by the order number.
Yeah, if they're trying to look it up by the address, though, I mean, if you have the order number, I would just look it up.
Sure.
From the dispatch screen. But if all you had was the address, you would be able to look it up here. But I guess you would need the order number to be able to, let's see, number, here it is. So then you could filter out the address and it would tell you the order number, and then you could take that order number and go to the dispatch screen. So that would be the way to look up an address, by going to report generator, go to order information, and selecting those 3 things: customer, address, and number, and then filtering by the address. You would pull address down here. And one of the things I like to do when I am filtering, instead of having it equal, I always change it to contains. That way I don't have to be as exact. So that's the way I would filter it. So, all right, guys. That is all I've got today. Again, another great call. Hopefully everybody who was here learned something today. Maybe saw a question you didn't realize you needed to ask. And hopefully you guys enjoy these calls as much as I do. But we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for showing up today, and have a great week. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Dave.
You bet.
Thank
See you
you.
Saturday.